Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the Help Us Understand podcast. Zach.
I'm Josh.
That's right. We're here to talk about things that we don't understand. Hopefully, you guys can help us out, or we'll talk through it and figure it out on our own. Either way, we'll jump right into it.
Societal things we don't get.
Societal things, yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask you about, do you think that we should have limits on, not just limits, but requirements for people to have children?
I mean, I think that's a little. Dictatorish.
Is it?
Yeah. First.
Okay, but then.
Well, here's the thing. I've always said in a joking manner that in Joshua's government, you would not be able to have children unless you pass some kind of mental test or some shit. And the only reason why I'm saying that is like people that are leaving their kids in cars.
Right. Did you see that one the other day?
Yes.
What was it, in Florida or something? Like
Doesn't matter.
Florida.
Anyway, I mean,
Florida. It was a lady. She had a gambling problem. She left her
I did see that
6-year-old or something in the car. They accidentally turned the AC off and died.
Yeah.
And she said, "I was only in there for 30 minutes. It was 6 hours."
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, stuff like that.
So agreed. Mental therapy. They need a mental acuity test or something along that line.
Yeah, but I mean but again,
I understand that it can sound dictatorish, but if you're allowing people to have children because they are capable,
but that's what I'm saying. It's human right. It's one thing. Every person is by the law of life. I mean, you're allowed to
up
have
to
children.
This day and age. I mean, you have people that are not worthy, and I don't want to say worthy. I mean it as in they're not smart enough. They're not capable to take care of a child, but they're like, I want a baby. And then the baby comes out and dies within 3 years from malnourishment or something.
Just got raised right or
and it's like,
that.
Did you even know what you were doing?
Yeah.
I want a baby. That doesn't make sense.
You ever watch that? It's on. I mean, I see it on YouTube, but I think there was an actual show. It's like it's not divorce court. It's a judge, and she's talking to the parents of a child for child support. Child support court, I think is what it's called. So, I mean, I couldn't, but I mean, so there was this one the other day. She had like 6 fucking kids, and her sister was raising them. And her argument was like, "Well, yeah, I give her $20 every now and then
$20
for 6 goddamn kids.
$20."
And the judge was like, "That's not. What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, I bring like snack cakes and stuff too."
Perfect
That's
example.
what I'm saying. Somebody like that is either not in their right state of mind or isn't mature enough. But for some reason, they just either they don't know where children come from, or know and they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and I'm not even saying an age restriction. I'm not saying an age restriction at all, because you could have a person or a couple that are 18 years old and they're smart enough. They are capable. They have the mental integrity. They have the funds, the finances to back it up. There's no, I'm not saying anyone specifically, but I'm saying everyone should be tested. If you say, "Hey, we want to have a baby," you need to go and fill out a test form, and they'll send you a test. And also, you have a 15-minute sit down with a therapist who can basically say, "You know what? I don't feel that they're..."
Yeah, but it all comes back to money, though. You know, a therapist is going to fucking lie for certain people, and you can lie your ass off on a test.
Yes, but at least it would weed out some of the dumb people.
I just think it's one of those. It's going to be one of those moral questions that we'll constantly ask yourself. I mean, should people? I mean, are there some people out there that can have children that should not have children? Yeah, of course. Can we stop them from having children? No.
Why not? I mean, sorry, but like, it's like, okay, let's say, I know what you're saying. How can we physically stop them?
Okay,
right?
in China, they have the limit.
Yeah.
What is it? 2
Well,
kids?
I think they raised that. I thought that was raised now. It's like,
But it's still a limit.
there is some limit. Yeah.
Yeah, like you
And
are.
it's only
not
certain
allowed
parts, but yes.
Communist country.
Understood. However,
But then again, some people would consider that population control.
but how are they actually controlling that?
Like, how are they enforcing it?
Yeah. They're killing the kids, aren't they?
What?
Aren't they having aren't they giving them an abortion, a forced one, if they've exceeded the limit? Or do they let them come to term, have the baby, and then they take the baby away from them?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
While you look that up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna provide the argument. I know where you were going earlier. How do we physically stop someone from having a baby? You don't. However, I think that there should be a limit to say, look, you have this 9 months to get your shit together. You have 9 months to get your finances straight enough, and you have 9 months to pass a mental integrity test. And if you can't pass that test within 9 months, that baby that's cooking up in there is going to immediately be put up for adoption as soon as it's born to a family that's passed the test and the financial terms.
But what would that do for adoption places? I mean,
it'd probably fill them up.
That's what I'm saying.
But knowing that you wouldn't be able to keep your child, I think would limit people from, not all people. Obviously, there still would be people like, yeah, I'm going to have a baby and then it'll be gone. It won't be in my life. Again, they shouldn't be allowed to have children. But
so from 1980 to 2015, there was the one-child policy. So apparently you were only allowed to have
up to 2015.
That's what it says,
wow.
It says the Chinese government enforced a one-child policy that restricted most families for one child.
Wasn't it one boy? Like if they had a girl, they were allowed to have one more.
I think that was.
I thought there were certain like.
I think that was something that people assumed. I don't know if that was necessarily true.
Huh.
But it says in 2016, China ended its one-child policy and allowed all couples to have 2 children.
Ooh.
The policy change came after it became clear that one-child policy might have been too effective, as China's population was aging and there wasn't enough young people to support the older population's healthcare and retirement. So the old people were like, we fucked up.
Yeah, like, hey, we probably should. Yeah, but it wasn't the old people. It was the people in power.
Well,
because they didn't want too many people. I mean, okay, two kids, right? That's a healthy family. I know there's people that are like, I want 3 and 4. Let's talk about the families that say we just keep going. We have 8. We have 10.
Like
we
the
have
fucking
12.
Octomom bullshit.
Yes.
See, that's not fair, and that's not right.
It's not right. I don't think it's
that's
right.
That's what I'm saying. You have children. You need to be able to dedicate the proper attention, time, nurturing, all this love to the children. How the hell are you going to do that with 20 fucking kids?
Right, and I'll tell you, as a parent, I can't fathom having more than 2 kids per parent at the max.
Right, I know.
Because I have 1. 1 is enough. 1 has all my attention. 2 is fine because you have 1 for each parent. You get to that 3rd and 4th one and you're stretched. You're stretched thin.
Financially?
Beyond, and just emotionally and just, your love is shared essentially. When you start having 5 and up, you are now having the eldest raise the others. The eldest is going to start raising the other kids because the parents don't have enough time to out of their day to dedicate to their children. Is that fair to the kids? No. I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it is either.
So then maybe there needs to be a limit on how many kids too.
I just don't know how.
After 4, all right, we're already in here. We're sewing you up.
Yeah, but that's a little bit of exactly what people are afraid this country's going to turn into. Telling people what they can and can't do with their bodies.
But you know what? We need some of that, though.
I agree.
We need some, not a lot, but we need some to stop people from being ridiculous.
But looking at the bigger picture is the fact that there are people that are just not. Forgive me, I don't mean this in a shitty way. Not smart enough.
No, that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. And why is that? What now, granted, I'm sure that's happened throughout. Let me finish this up either way. In 2021 is when they changed to a 3-person policy.
Oh, 3.
Right.
Okay.
So as of 2021 to currently, you can have 3 kids.
Yeah, but you got to think they just started that in 2021. At best, they're just now having their 3rd baby in some of these families right now.
Families violating the 1-child or later 2-child policy faced hefty fines and difficulty finding a job. As recently as
finding a job,
as recently as 2020, the state reported that local authorities fined a family $718,000 of the local currency, $112,000 in dollars for having 7 children. So I mean,
why such a large jump? Like, hey, you can't have 2. Now you have 7. It's $112,000 fine.
I don't know.
I mean, by far, that's an extreme point, right?
Well, then there's
China's extreme. We are. I don't think we're not even. We don't have any rules. We have no guidelines. You have people who have 6 and 7 kids, and immediately are like, well, the government will take care of me.
Well, that's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
they live in poverty, and they don't dedicate their life to anything, and they're just like, well, this is it. Why? I mean, it's such a waste. Not only that, it's a waste for the kids. Those kids could grow up and be astronauts or whatever, doctors, scientists. But the likelihood of a child in a home like that to grow up and be successful is low.
Well, but here's the thing. The parents need to stay together as well.
That's true.
That doesn't necessarily always happen.
Most of the time it doesn't.
But see, at the same time...
That was like that, who was that? John and Kate +8 bullshit from back then. And then something happened. They're no longer together.
That's right.
Where are the kids? How are they doing?
And also the crumbling of society, as if you listen, you know that we like to fucking talk about.
Yeah, really.
That's televised as entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
It's promoting. It's promoting. Well, if I have 10 kids, then maybe I'll have my own show and they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
That's not the goal, folks. Don't do that. I mean, it's just, I understand we are in a population decline.
Yeah.
We are officially in a population decline globally, which is scary because...
What, numbers?
Yeah. We are officially in a decline position where if we continue on the path we are in... Wait, let me say this correct. If we're on the same path that we are today in 10 years, we will officially be negatively losing numbers.
How what do you mean?
Like our population will then start to actually decrease.
Oh, which is
not before? Good. No, we've always in history always increased.
Why is that?
People aren't having babies anymore. Not like they used to.
Problem solved.
I mean,
but also too, it's this, maybe it's this upcoming generation.
But that's scary.
Yeah.
It's sure, beneficial for the global.
I mean, I'm not trying to
climate change, all those things.
I'm not trying to alienate any listeners whatsoever. But at the same time, if everybody nowadays is identifying as non-binary or the opposite of the opposite of the sex they were born as, are they having kids?
No,
no. I think some people are.
But there are few, the very, very small minority. But I mean, that's scary. We could be in our 70s and they could be like, we just lost 1 million people globally this year.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, wait a minute. It's probably not good. I mean, I know at some point we have to stop. Right. We can't just go on an increase by 10 to 15% every year. And then what? We're slammed packed to the gills. We look like a bunch of fish in a fish bowl.
Yeah.
And there's no more food. There's nothing. So I know there's a fine balance, but the rate we're going, even Japan, they're saying Japan's on such a heavy decline. They're in trouble.
Yeah, but you know what they say the problem in Japan is? Have you read that?
No.
So in Japan,
I may have, but I don't know.
And whether there's any merit to this, but I did read an article, suggesting that Japan was going to start sponsoring men from other countries to come over there because apparently Japanese men or something are not actively looking for suitors or actively trying to date. And
I've seen that.
Apparently there's more women there are men.
Well, COVID made it worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
nobody went out. At all in Japan. So then no one met anyone.
Right.
And they all just touched themselves. Touch yourself, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I mean, presumably Japanese men have the same sexual drive as American men. But that can't be the case because if that was the case, they'd be having kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have a lot more anime and manga and all that weird stuff over there that maybe they're just more into that kind of stuff.
That's not the same. That's not even close to the same.
It doesn't matter. If that's what they grew up watching, I
suppose. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they're into that stuff and they're like, psh, I don't need a woman. I just need to go work somewhere and just be okay with the way life is.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But
I've always wanted to go to Japan. Not for the reason that I just mentioned, but I have always wanted to go to Japan. But I think people also, too, later in life, like me, for example, I'm divorced. I'm 38 years old.
Yeah.
But I still plan on having kids. I still want to have kids. Now, whether or not that'll happen, I don't want to have kids in my late 40s.
Right.
Be a grandpa trying to chase around, or be an old man trying to chase around a 5-year-old and not having that.
You'll lose weight that way.
It's true. Well, no.
Josh, what happened? You haven't seen you in 3 months. Down 100 pounds, guys.
I threw my back out by sneezing. For sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's what I want to talk about. The kid thing aside, it kind of goes into what we were talking about in the judicial system.
Okay.
So everything with our judicial system, and it is, but what made me think about it is the whole, goddamn, child support. Where it's kind of like a negotiation. Like you're going before the judge, and then you two the mother and the father are going to argue about, well, they do this, they do that, completely forgetting about what the child's about.
Yes.
But on top of it, I was watching, so my mother watches nothing but crime shows, judge shows, and they're good. I have to admit, I might sit there and kind of watch whenever she starts to do it, and
it's the same stuff over and over.
It is, but here's the stuff that I don't get. And if there's anybody listening that has any kind of experience in the court systems, the legal systems. One of our best friends, he's a cop, so I mean, he'd be able to probably help us out with all this kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
But if you go murder somebody, Zach murders somebody, okay, you get caught or you turn yourself in, they give you an attorney, and your attorney and the prosecution, you get to negotiate and say, if you plead guilty, you'll only go to jail for 20 years. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? In my eyes, and this might be a very primitive way of caveman times, if you kill somebody, you die.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you lose. Now, obviously, there's different circumstances, like, defense and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But from my understanding, if you take a life of something because of your rotting someone, you forfeit your right to live, as far as I'm concerned.
You and I have been on that same page. Bring back stoning. Okay.
I don't know about that.
I mean, bring back stoning and public hanging. All right? I'm just going to say it. I mean, really, though, so
they still hang people in the UK for treason.
They should do it here. I mean, no, really, it's okay. And I know you and I, and this person is a little bit controversial, but Kelsey Grammer, right?
Yes.
He had just came out with a statement the other day, and he said, if a woman gets raped,
I didn't hear this.
Yeah, if a woman gets raped, he said, do we then kill the rapist for raping her, or do we kill the baby? And I was like, well, that's an easy answer.
So what point he was trying to make the point that
about
abortion,
talking about abortion.
I see what he's saying.
And I agree with him though. You kill the rapist. If it was something that it has to go through the court system, obviously. Sure. But for crimes of significance, murder, rape, really those are pretty much the two. Mm-hmm. You kill them. And I think the families should be able to dictate the death of the person.
Now, I don't know necessarily if it should go that far, but at the same at the same time, I guess I don't understand the negotiating.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, if you honestly, if we know you did it, and if you plead not guilty, you're going to get a higher sentence than if you would just give us what we want and plead guilty.
Right.
It's not a game.
It's not like, well, if you're right.
And then these families of and God forbid anything happens like that to anybody, but then this family of the victim, they're like, justice has been served. And I'm like, no, the fuck it hasn't.
Right.
If justice was served, however they killed the victim, it needs to happen to them.
Behind door number 1, we have 20-year sentence. Behind door number 2, we have 30 years. Yeah, it's just,
door
it doesn't make sense.
We're going to drag you into the street and let justice take over.
But put yourself in the position, and this is the problem we've lost. Put yourself in the position of the family or the person that was affected.
Right.
No one does that anymore.
No, they don't consider
We just go, oh, poor thing.
Right.
That's it. But if you really sit there and go, okay, my entire family was just murdered in their home.
Yeah.
You're going to want not just justice. You want that person to die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's only fair. It's fair for that person to die.
Right.
It's not fair for them to go up in front of a court and say, well, I was mentally clinically
I know I did
insane,
wrong, and I'm sorry to the family.
And they're going to send me to a psych ward for the next 20 or 30 years before they decide, they might off me. That's not okay.
And I watch those TV shows and stuff, and it's TV, but that really happens.
Yeah.
Like that woman who stabbed that little boy in the face in the grocery store in Ohio, where was that? Ohio or Idaho or something?
Yeah.
How is that person still allowed to live?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry if that's wrong or if that's just a sick way of thinking.
But it wasn't only that. When she was in court and they asked her,
she smiled.
She smiled, looked smug, and laughed. That person needs to go.
Yeah.
We don't need that on our planet.
And also, too, if justice was, the way, in this way of like, you know what, stoning. Okay, that's not. I think it's a little extreme. But if it was brought back, do you think crime would still happen? I think it would be reduced. But it would be reduced because who wants to be fucking stoned?
Exactly. That's the point behind it is if you have public hangings and you have stoning, it's a deterrent. So that crime rates drop by like 50%.
Right.
Guess what? Then everybody feels safer. Yeah. Everybody feels happier. You can go outside and do shit around your house and not feel like somebody's going to attack you.
Yeah.
Neighborhood crime would be bad. I mean, it just overall, it's an improvement to society.
But there's so much about our judicial system that I don't understand, and I don't get why politicians are not trying to reform it. Like, for example, you can make all these deals and stuff with someone that is convicted of murder, but if someone gets in my face out in public and is like talking all kinds of shit and spits in my face or something, and I push them, I get thrown in jail for assault.
Right.
What kind of sense does that make?
It doesn't.
That kind of stuff, like that kind of stuff confuses the absolute hell out of me. And legitimately, I want to learn about it. I want to know why that is the way it is. and if it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that situation right there, it's infuriating because someone can basically what's the term when someone ruins your reputation?
Is that defamation? No.
Like in front of you, they're ruining your persona in front of others.
Yeah.
And you're not able to do anything other than yell at them back, right? So it's kind of like you're defending. We've lost, and this is why I love the Viking culture so much. Defend your honor. That's what that comes down to. And yes, it got way out of whack.
Right.
But you're supposed to defend your family and yourself. If someone comes up and says, your whole family is ugly fucking rat scum and they are just not worthy of anything, and if that's all they say and they walk away, cool, I don't know who the hell you are. But if they keep doing it and it becomes abuse, it shouldn't be in the power of police to come get this person. Right. You should be able to deck them and then call the police and say, they were following me. It was abuse. It was, And
I agree and I disagree because the honor and the respect, I'm so tired of people, especially, well, no, I'm not going to say it, but I'm so tired of people like, well, that you disrespected me. I don't appreciate disrespect. Bitch, what makes you think you deserve any respect? Like if somebody cuts you off in traffic and these people that get out and road rage on somebody and bust somebody's car window out because they felt disrespected, fuck you.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Like that to me, what do you...
Just mind your own business. Shit happens.
I mean, you're hurting my honor. That
is too far.
That's made up stuff.
That's what I mean.
That is a fragile spirit. If you get... Like, somebody can come up, you know me. I've always been laid back with that. If somebody can come up to me and be like, Josh, you big fat piece of shit, and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, here's the difference between you and me. You get into a road rage incident with someone, right? And they're hot.
You've never seen me road rage.
No, I'm not saying you are, but maybe you were a little bit angry and y'all were swerving and shit. Guy gets out, big old beefy guy.
Right.
He comes up, he starts screaming at you, punches your window in. Josh's reaction, your reaction is going to be, what the fuck, man? Who do that? And then you're going to call the police. You're not going to do anything. For me, I'm going to look instantly for revenge.
Well, hang on.
Like I'm revenge driven on something like that.
Well, it depends. Something like that, if you bust out my window, then I'm getting out of the fucking car, and then we might throw hands because at that point you started something. But at the same time, though, if someone's just like, I can't stand it. Like, if you get cut off with somebody and you're flipping the finger at somebody, like that's just starting a problem that doesn't need to happen.
True.
That's just that's just starting shit.
Yeah.
Learn to let little stuff go.
Yeah.
Little stuff go.
100%. But I think there comes a point where your patience is tested. Like if someone cuts you off and then they cut you off again and then they cut you off a third time,
the same
you're going to go, what the fuck are you doing, you piece of shit? Because they've annoyed you now, right?
Right.
They didn't just do it once. One time, absolutely, I can consider they're having a bad day. It's an accident. Maybe something's going on in their life. And usually I'll be like, fuck you. Inside, I might even say it in my car. I'm not going to make a motion to them. But if they do it again and again,
right,
then I'm going to go, they got something against me.
Yeah.
Fuck you. It's time. I'm going to give you the finger. I'm going to do whatever I need to. I'm going to look like an idiot mouthing some words to you through the windows, But I mean, I'm going to start something because you started it first.
If anyone in my life, including Zach, our friend Dustin, my family, my ex-wife, all these other people, if we're to ask what my biggest fault was, it would be that I'm too laid back.
1,000%.
And I always have been. Because I guess the way I see it is being confrontational is not going to make me feel better.
I don't know. You got to try it. You got to grip onto that. You just got to be like, hey, fuck you. You got to just get it out.
To me, it's just, I wouldn't, I'm laid back in a lot of things. It takes a lot to get under my skin. It really takes a lot to bother me.
Less as you get older, though.
That's true.
That's for all of us. But you know what? That's with age.
Right.
I'm seeing that with everyone, even my parents. As they get older and everyone gets older, you just lose patience.
Oh, dude.
Because you're just like, I've been on this earth for 50 years. It's just...
Yeah, I get it. People get fucking mad. I get it. But I don't know, confrontation, arguing. Like, I'm more willing to let someone believe that they won an argument than to continue fighting. Josh, you stupid motherfucker, the sky's purple. No, Zach, I think if you take a look at it, it's more like blue. No, motherfucker, it's purple. I'll be like, all right, okay, yeah, you're right. To me, it's more willing.
It does sound like you. You'll be like, okay, sure, yeah.
Well, because what's the point of arguing with somebody that believes what they're saying is right?
Okay, well,
and that's also another thing about society today. People are unwilling to admit that they are fucking wrong.
That's the problem that I have, is if they're wrong, they're fucking wrong. Like, if you tell me right now
pity that person. Instead of trying to change their mind, pity that person.
I'm going to walk away knowing that I told them the truth in every piece of detail, and they can take it or leave it. The sky is an orange with blue. I'm going to go, where'd you get that information from? You don't need to know. Well, yeah, because you need facts to back that shit up.
Right.
And I'm going to question them to death. And if they still stand by the orange-blue hue in the sky, then I'll go, you're wrong, but thanks. We can agree to disagree. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I've had conversations like that where I go, we'll agree to disagree. You're not going to convince me to believe the stupidity of whatever your argument is.
Well, but if it's something that can be backed up with facts, I'd be more willing to
100%. Yeah.
But opinions and stuff, like people are so passionate about their opinions and what they believe, and I refuse to argue with people like that because it's just
it's hard nowadays.
It takes more energy out of me than I'm willing to fucking put into it.
Yeah, I know.
If this ignorant person wants to believe that the goddamn sky is purple, cool. It doesn't hurt me. Now, if it's somebody that's like close to my family and starts teaching kids or something, guys, the sky's purple. You're going to hear a lot of people say that the sky's blue, but it's actually purple. That's when I think a fucking problem.
You, Joshua, had the opportunity to present facts to this random guy named Joe and tell him, hey, let me tell you, the sky's actually kind of blue. And then it changes him later on because he goes, I hate that, Josh. I can't believe he told me. And as time goes on, he sees things on the internet, and then he goes, man, I think he's right. You just made an impact. And he's not going to tell all those kids at that birthday party that the sky is purple.
And he's going to call me in tears and be like, Josh, listen, man.
Yeah.
I fought you all those years
You brought
ago.
me to the Lord.
Well, what facts would I be able to offer? Your eyes? I mean, look.
Hey, maybe that's the thing. They're colorblind.
Damn, then I feel like shit. What if they're
right.
colorblind? They can't see purple.
Then you need to walk around with the colorblind glasses and go, just put these on.
Just put them on all the
See,
time.
you're fucking wrong. Give them back.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But I mean, especially nowadays, like I try not to. I mean, I like politics because I think it's interesting, but I don't like arguing with people anymore because people are. I believe this, and that's what I fucking believe.
Yeah, people are very ignorant, and they are very.
But see, again, I'm laid back. Everybody complains that I'm laid back and stuff. But how much of my political views have changed over the years?
A lot, yeah.
More than I'd say most people.
I think
because I'm willing to listen to other sides. I'm willing to listen to other opinions.
Have a conversation.
Take from it, but nobody else is willing to do that.
I think a lot of this comes from the mindset of people can believe whatever they want to believe, and I don't have to worry about it. That's where that comes from.
Yeah, but
we used to be in a society where if someone said the sky is purple, the majority would go, no, it's not.
Right.
Nowadays, if you believe the sky is purple, then sweetheart, the sky is purple. That mindset has fucked everything about this generation.
Yeah, I know.
It's not about what you believe. It's about facts. Yeah. There are facts. You can believe in certain things. Religions are all about belief, 100%. Yeah. You have to believe. That's fine. But when you start disbelieving things that are literally in front of your face, that's just stupidity. But we're babying it by saying, hey, you're cool. I don't feel like dealing with you, and I don't want to get into our argument. So if you think the grass is blue most days, it can be blue.
Now, but I'm not that laid back.
No,
I will argue stuff like that. Like, I mean, if it's just one person talking to me, but if they're like preaching in front of a crowd, and I'm like kind of like, I don't know if that's quite right. And they're like, see this? Look at this fascist over here talking about the blue sky.
Right.
Okay, then I'd probably be like,
You'd probably be like, hold on, let me get my phone out. I want to make sure you can see the facts.
Come on. Yeah.
Anybody got some colorblind glasses around?
I need to show you all something. Everybody line up.
Yeah, really.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely.
It's sad. I don't know what's going on with our society. We talk about this almost every episode. It's just sad. I mean, I see people that walk in work every day, and I'm like, how do you function? How do you wake up in the morning?
Somebody ask you that?
No, I'm just. Oh God.
Morning.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Morning's like, how do you function every day?
I'd be like,
how do you drag your ass in here?
Roll up out of bed and cry a little before I come in.
Drink a glass of water.
Couple shots.
Yeah, a couple shots.
No, but I mean, some people just, I don't know. It's like no aspiration, no desire.
That'd be a really good commercial for liquor.
Hey.
Somebody rolled out of bed, looks miserable, tired as fuck, loosely putting on a shirt and tie.
Has a couple shots and goes,
has a couple shots, and then finally gets into work.
Good morning.
Now we are not condoning drinking and driving at all.
Not at all.
But if they finally roll into the office and they're chipper, and they just look
good morning. How are you, Susan?
Zach, how do you roll yourself in here and act like that? And then it cuts to black. Jägermeister.
Oh man! All right, we need some.
We're not sponsored.
Some advertising, marketing companies reach out.
We're not sponsored.
Well, we got you.
I mean, that would be a funny.
That would be a really good commercial. Wow.
I don't know.
Let's not promote alcoholism.
We're not. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Drank. That's not true.
That's a lie.
Yeah. That is a lie. I don't drink as much as I used to. I can't.
That's a. I realized that the other day. Someone was asking me.
We haven't drank together in a while.
I know. Yeah. And someone at work was like, how often when was the last time you drank? And I had to sit there and go,
I don't know.
Wow. I don't remember. I mean, birthday, Christmas, maybe a party or two throughout the year.
I don't even drink
That's
at
it.
Christmas.
We used to drink like every other weekend. Like have a beer or something like that. Like I was over at your mom's house.
True. Yeah, we used to.
We drank pretty often, and then we'd have pretty hard throwdowns every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, is it a holiday? I really don't feel like having indigestion.
I gotta get up in the morning.
Like, oh man, that's terrible.
Can't do it anymore.
But true though, indigestion, and then you wake up and you feel miserable, and it's just like, why did I do this?
What an age to be at. Hey man, you want to have a couple beers tonight? I don't know, man. Indigestion.
For me, that's a big deal. For me, that's a breaker right there.
Oh, well, anybody knows me that all you have to, if you want me to go to sleep, all you have to do is get alcohol in me.
Oh, absolutely.
I will pass out.
Couple shots, you're done.
I'm out. I will go to sleep.
I'll be fine, but then I'll be like, I need some water or something. My throat's burning.
Some water?
I hate it. Yeah, can I have some water, please? Yeah, I don't know. We got so old. Alcohol's just not. It's not the same. Now CBD, that's all right. I'm down with some CBD.
Yeah, it still makes me giggly than shit.
Well, we should probably do that on the next podcast.
I am not so sure.
Yeah, let's just do a little
maybe
CBD gummy.
Maybe that'll be like our 1 year anniversary or something.
Oh man, yeah, because most of this would just be giggling.
Just laughs.
We wouldn't be able to get a thought out.
Yeah, it'd be 30 minutes.
But the real solid difference between CBD and alcohol is there's no hangover. Like when you wake up from CBD, you might be a little extra tired. You might still kind of feel a little but it's nothing like when you wake up from alcohol, you're like
wine.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I need
that's
water, I need the TV, I just need to relax,
Don't wanna move.
CBD is like, all right, you can kind of function, you can get through your day.
You can do some things.
You remember when we first tried the CBD Delta 8, whatever it was? And then you had like a bunch, and then it lasted for like 4 days.
I ate one and it did nothing. How many did you have?
We both had at least 2.
I had one, it did nothing, and then I took another one.
We didn't wait long enough, I don't think.
And then I had 2 more.
Yeah, but you skipped to like a Delta 9. Oh, no, you had 2 more, and then you had a Delta 9. And then you texted me like a day and a half later and said, dude,
I still feel like
still won't go away. I was like, oh, God.
And this will show how we weren't messed up, but we weren't in the right mind. We went to a restaurant that serves exclusively chicken salad.
Oh.
Ate a bunch of chicken salad.
So good.
And then we went to a movie. I don't even remember what we saw.
You realize that our tastes in food and alcohol are like
older as well.
Women. We're women. We went to chicken salad place.
We
got a little, when we order drinks, what do we go for? Other than like a whiskey sour. When we see something that looks good, it's got fruit in it. It's like a strawberry daiquiri or something.
Bahama Mama.
Yeah, like it's so funny because we ordered food the other day and our boss at work, he paid for it and he was like, y'all give me your orders. After I put in my order, I said, I'm a 50-year-old woman. I got this Mediterranean sandwich, like roasted garlic tomato sandwich, and I got a blueberry lavender lemonade, and then I got like an apple, and I was like, I'm a 50-year-old woman. What's going on?
Thanks,
I enjoy. You know what?
Thanks, ma'am. Have a good night.
It was delicious. Yeah. Every bit of it was delicious. I don't care. I could care less. I'm a man, and I like fruity stuff. When it goes, well, that sounds wrong. I'm a man that likes to drink fruity alcohol. Let's make that very clear. Yeah. Oh,
and I love a whiskey sour.
Oh, I was at a place the other day. They served again lavender. I'm into lavender lately for some reason. It makes me feel good on the inside. I don't know how else to explain that, but it was a lavenderini. No, a lavenderita, a lavender margarita.
What was it flavored like?
Lavender. It was a lavender margarita, and I was like, this is refreshing. Like anything lavender for some reason to me is like my body's like, oh, thank God. I don't know what it is. Lavender and mint.
I do like mint.
Put them together.
Okay, I don't know what we're talking. We're talking about. I love mint, Zach.
I love lavender.
Mint. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I do not understand more than I did when we started this episode.
No.
So I think it's a good time to end it there. I think we'll go ahead and end it.
We need exams to have babies. That's the moral of the story.
And we'd love to know if any of you agree or disagree. And honestly, we mean both. Do you agree or do you disagree? We want to hear from you. You can send us an email at helpuspod.com. No, helpuspod at gmail.com. HELPUSPOD@gmail.com. Also, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, Help Us Understand Podcast on YouTube. That's where we're posting right now. We're trying to get everything settled to where we can post episodes on podcast platforms.
Bet.
So hopefully that'll be in the next week or two. So definitely keep an eye on that.
And if there are marketing companies out there that heard this and for some reason just caught on to the fact that alcohol commercial would be a hit, we're here.
Hit your boys up.
Yeah, hit us up. We got you. We're cheap.
I doubt it. We're very cheap.
We're very cheap.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You
could probably offer us a couple $20 and we'd be like, cool. Okay. We got you.
Let's get some chicken salad.
Put our name on there.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll hit you up next week. I'm Josh.
I'm Zach.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.